How's it going, guys? I told you in the last one that I was ready to open up some more Archazia's Island, so guess what? We're gonna open up a lot more Archazia's Island. I just got a case, I'm ready to crack it, let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna be breaking this up into 4 different episodes just because it would take forever if I was opening all 4 of these boxes in a single video, and I know a lot of people don't really want to sit down and watch all of that. Now, if you do, you're more than welcome to. They will all come out at one point or another, and so you are going to be more than welcome to watch them to your heart's content. But I just know that I have a hard time watching all of that in a row myself, so I'm sure that I am not the only one. Whew. But here we go. This is the first case we've got of Archazia's Island, and I'm super excited. First box was a lot of fun to open up, and I couldn't wait to open any more. I just had to go ahead and get to it, and I really want to find the cards that I'm missing for my deck before League for this week. So what better way, right? Of course, the better way would actually be just to buy singles. That's always going to be the better way to go. So we've got John Silver, Tramp, and Kakamora. All right, 1 down, 23 to go. But yeah, buying singles, of course, is always going to be the smart way to go. But you know what's a lot more fun? Cracking packs. Now, that being said, you definitely should, if you're trying to do this in the most economical way possible, you should be buying singles, because that is always going to be the cheaper way around, even whenever things are, like a new set. Granted, there are a lot of cards that are going to be pretty inflated in price, but in the long term, probably still going to be quite a bit cheaper. So we've got Isabella Madrigal, Kronk, and Canine Crunchies. All right, I feel like I am going to end up running out of space over here off to the side of me before it's all said and done. I also need to make sure that I pay attention to where, take that off the top before we get going too far, where these things are showing up on camera as well, because I didn't notice until I was editing the last video that it's kind of hard to see down at the bottom of the cards because of the way that I was holding them. So I am very sorry about that. I will try and do better. So we've got Wreck-It Ralph, our first super rare. We've got another Gontu, getting real close to that playset now. And Aquila. All right. Not bad, not bad. Not quite the start that we had in our last box, but you know what? That's all right, because hopefully, more than likely, in the next... Oh, I'm going to open this upside down. Hurt my soul, but I'm going to do it. But hopefully, more than likely, in the next couple of videos, we will have ourselves a brand new enchanted card. Because with cases, they're still not guaranteed, but they are more than likely. I believe I saw where somebody is actually taking in the data for people actually cracking packs, like by the case and by the box and everything, and it seems the rate so far for this set is about 82. I think 82% of cases have an enchanted or more, or at least one enchanted so far. So we got Family Madrigal, another super rare. We've got Bolt, and our first foil rare. We got Madam Mim. All right. Love to see the foil rares, especially this early. And I'm also glad that we are getting an early start on our super rares. It definitely feels good. But yeah, I think it's super awesome that somebody out there is mindful enough to actually allow for tracking, or to get the community together to track and see what the pull rates are actually like for this set, because I really like looking at that kind of data. I think it's really interesting. Some people might not really care. Oh, spoiled it a little bit. We got Daisy Duck, we got Pete, and Savington Brother. But yeah, I think that data is super interesting. I think it'll be a lot more interesting over time as we have more sets, just to kind of see what the trends are like. I don't know how much this has really been tracked in prior sets. I know this is the first time that I'm seeing it. I'm sure it's probably not the first time it's been done. But like I said, this is the first one that I am seeing it, and I like it. So I'm definitely going to be adding my data to it once we are done here, and I would encourage you to do the same, and I will leave a link to that in the description of this video as well, so that if you'd like to update that, you know where to find it. All right, so we've got Devil's Eye Diamond, Clarabelle, and Taka. The Devil's Eye Diamond, I think, is a super pretty enchanted card, but it's not worth a whole lot, which kind of works out for me because I might just pick up a copy of that just because, and that's also assuming that I don't end up pulling one myself, but I think that card is really pretty. I know it's probably not really going to be playable. I haven't actually looked to see what it does, if I'm being totally honest, but as far as the art goes, really like it. So I might just pick one up for myself if I don't pull it. I'm really hoping that if we pull an enchanted, though, that it will be that Tamatoa, because that is my chase card for this set. I absolutely love Tamatoa as a character. That card is super sick just as far as how it works. And then on top of that, it's just gorgeous. So it's got everything that I could possibly want. So we got King of Hearts, Maurice, and Sven. Cool. Yeah, pardon me. I keep having to roll my sleeves up today. They just don't want to stay. I don't know why exactly that is. And I am really struggling with the packs today. I don't know why that is either, but we got to keep going. We got to get through it. I cannot wait to get through these boxes. I absolutely love ripping packs. I hope that you guys enjoy watching as much as I enjoy making these videos. But yeah, whenever I got home with this box, I was immediately ready to just go absolutely feral. So we've got Company, Pongo, and Mr. Smee. They're super rare for the collection. I gotta say, I think I'm gonna put together a puppy deck just for fun at some point this set, because man, the puppy support in this set is absolutely on point. There are so many good puppy cards that have been added, and you know, the puppy meme deck, why not make it a little bit fun to play? Just, you know, more than just having a whole bunch of puppies, why don't you make something that's got a bunch of puppies and is actually you know, somewhat playable. If I can talk today. And I'm so sorry if the cards have been drifting down. I'm trying to do my best and actually make sure that they're not, but it's a hard habit to break, I'll be totally honest. So we got John Silver, another super rare. We got Jafar and Li Shang. All right, so it shouldn't be too long, and we should be pulling a legendary at the very least, I would hope. Man, I'm struggling with these packs, I'm telling you. I really wish I could figure out why that is. But yeah, if I tell you what, if I drift down too much with these packs again this time, you guys are gonna have to yell at me, because I already have obviously made it known that I am aware that it's a problem, and trying to keep an eye on it. I still keep finding myself drifting further and further down with them. But I wanted to make sure that you guys can see actually like the rarities whenever I'm pulling everything, and then just being able to see the whole card as well. I found whenever I try and bring things up here, I typically end up just making matters worse. So Dawson, Jasmine, and Hero. Yeah, it was kind of upsetting whenever I started to edit the last video and saw that my new graphics cover up the rarity symbols of the cards, but I'd already put in a lot of time on the graphic, and I just didn't have a whole lot of time to work with getting it fixed. So like I said, I'm going to try this time to make sure that I don't run into that issue, and I just pull the packs in the right spot like I should have before. So we got Ink Geyser. I'm super excited for this card. I think it can be a lot of fun. Raya. And another foil rare. We got Rhino. Yeah, the Ink Geyser. I'm not planning on playing that color combo. Matter of fact, I'm really dreading running into it out in the wild. But it's an interesting card. I gotta say, I think it's going to be interesting to see how it'll work in practice. I know in theory it could be really mean, but that's all just theory crafting, right? So we'll just have to see how it works out in practice whenever people actually get to play with it and see how it goes, because I am curious. I think just having, another one starting with a super rare, and now we have our playset of Gantu. Another super rare, we got King Candy and Moana. All right, our first double super rare pack, and got the Gantu. What was I saying? I was talking about Ink Geyser, but I'll be honest, I can't remember exactly. Wow, that one opened super easy. Don't remember exactly what it was saying, but yeah, I am interested to see how the Ink Geyser thing is actually going to play out, or if it'll even end up being meta. I know it's one of the cards that was super expensive, like before the set came out. I think it was somewhere around like 15 bucks a copy, what people were pre-ordering it for, which was super interesting. I did not expect it to be quite that expensive, and I haven't looked at it in a few days, so I don't know how it's been fluctuating, and I haven't had a chance to actually play in League since this set has come out, so I haven't seen anybody play it yet, but I suppose we'll see soon enough. So we got Rhino. Ooh, our first legendary. Who we got? Who we got? Come on. Ooh, the Queen. That's another card I really like. I don't know whether I'll actually get to play it. I've seen a couple of deck lists with it. I might give it a try. Guess we'll see. And TikTok. All right. So there it is. We got our first legendary. A little bit deeper in the box than I would have liked, but who knows? Maybe all the good stuff's on the bottom. We're only going to be able to find out one way, and that's to keep cracking packs. So we're going to do just that. So have you guys actually read into the lore from the cards yet? I think it's super interesting. Again, I said it in the last one, but I really like that they are starting to do that. I think it makes just for a little bit more interesting with the puzzle cards. Gives people that might not normally actually take a look at them, give them a second reason to, and then also make it easier to actually understand the lore of the game as well. So we got Keen Eye, another super rare, we got Queen of Hearts, and another foil rare, we got Raya. All right, we already have more foil rares in this box than we did in our last. And we're definitely doing all right in the super rare department. But yeah, I'm hoping they continue to do this. Between that and then like the kind of theming that they've been doing with the enchanteds, which I guess really the ones for this set aren't like super like theme heavy, but still they've been getting better and better with the enchanteds each set, I think. So I am really excited to see where they go from here. We got Raya, Perdita, another copy card, and Trusty. Oh, all right. I feel like we're gonna have to have some heat here on the bottom, right? Like it's kind of getting to the point where that's gonna be the only option. Also really interested, I'm starting to get into graded cards quite a bit, which of course, you know, you'll see with a video I've got coming out pretty soon. I know that I've mentioned that I just got some graded cards back, and it may actually be out before this video. But I think I'm gonna start trying to get cards graded more frequently. So we got Madam Mim, Show Me More, and Yzma. And by that I mean that I'm not just gonna get a bunch of like just random stuff graded, right? Like I only want to get things that actually like matter to me in some way, shape, form, or fashion graded. Like The Queen, pretty cool card. Great art. But unless it ends up being like some crazy super meta relevant card, probably would never get it graded, especially since it's not a foil, right? Now there are some cards that I may spend money on getting graded that aren't meta relevant just because they're things that I really like as far as like the art goes. Like the Map of Treasure Planet, I really love that card. And of course, you know, it's not really worth anything, but I would really like to have a slabbed copy of it just because I love the card. But then like with my enchanteds, I plan on continuing to have those sent off, and I may just buy some more slabs that are just already slabbed up. We got Iago, Tramp, and Yzma. But yeah, I found that I really like graded cards, and so I am really planning on trying to expand that part of my collection a little bit this year. So just because, like I said, they're neat. I like having things like that around, and as I've been getting more and more into the hobby, it's just something I've found more and more fascinating. But especially because of the art in these cards. I mean, these are just absolutely gorgeous cards. So they look really nice actually having them up on display. That's one of the primary reasons that I really wanted to get that Hades slabbed, which, don't get me wrong, that card's great regardless, but yeah, that was just another reason to get it slabbed up. So we've got Madam Mim, Tramp, and another foil rare. We got Ink Geyser. All right, that one might end up being a very expensive foil potentially. Like I said, we'll have to see how it actually plays out in the meta, but the potential is there for sure. Kind of curious what that is looking like now. Now that I've been talking about it, I kind of want to go see, and I will, of course, you'll know whenever you're watching what it is, because of course I will throw up the price there on the screen. But while I'm sitting here talking to myself, talking to you, I'm not really sure off the top of my head. There's another one of our puppy cards. But yeah, I like this set. I think there's a lot of great potential. I think it's got a lot of cards that have the opportunity to shape the meta in a new way, which is super exciting. But then there's also fun cards that, like, they're not going to see a whole lot of competitive play, like the puppy cards, that are also great. So we got Basil, Mushu, another great card. Whether he shapes the meta or not, I'm glad he's finally in the game. And Pepper. All right, man, we are hurting for some legendaries, actually. We need them bad. Wow, this is... Whew. I'm glad I've got a case. I'd probably be a little worried at this point if it was just a one-off box. It's not super worrying since I know that I've got 3 more down here. Don't get me wrong, I would still really like to get that ratio set up right where I've got 4 or 5 of them, but yeah, I mean, it's not as bad knowing I got 3 more boxes that could possibly kind of shift it one way or the other, right? So we got Milo, Clarabelle. Ooh, for spoil super rare, we got Taka. All right, she actually goes over here. We got 4 more, including this one. So let's hope for 4 legendaries, right? Or 3 at the very least. That would be great. Especially we only got 3 legendaries in our last box. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen that video yet. But yeah, I mean, usually we get 4 or 5. So that'd be really nice, especially since the last box was a little light. Well, it would be nice to get one that's a little heavy. So we got Devil's Eye Diamond again. And then here we go. All right, the box is listening. So can we get a Tamatoa? Ooh, no, but we got Scrooge McDuck. That is another great card, and this is my 3rd one. I think this is the last one that I need for my deck, but either way, well on our way to a playset. Can't beat that, especially because this is one of the more expensive cards in the set. And we got the Matchmaker. All right, can't be mad at that. 2 cards that I have been looking at playing. I mean, really, there's several cards that I've been looking at playing that I've gotten out of this box and the last box. So really cannot complain in that department. So I am I'm starting to get a little nervous now. I mean, it's great. We got the box listening to us. So we got one of our legendaries. Let's see if we can pull out another one at least. So we got Lucky. Restoring the Crown is another card that looks like fun. And Archimedes. All right. 2 more packs. If you haven't already, you know the drill. I need your luck. Go down there, comments. Let me have some of that luck. I need it. I need it bad. So like we've got to at least have one more legendary in these 2 packs, right? How crazy would it be if we ended up with a God pack? I don't know if God packs actually exist. I know theoretically you could have 2 legendaries and an enchanted. It is possible. I don't personally know anyone who's actually pulled one, but that would be sick. And really, that's what I would like to see here. Not gonna have it in this one though. So we've got Fajo. All right, here we go. Another legendary. And Bagheera. All right, so that makes 2 Bagheera. Another great legendary. Let's see what we got back behind it. Thunderbolt. All right. So now we're back on pace with our last box. Gotta rub this one for a little bit extra luck because we need that enchanted, or at the very least, another legendary. All right. I'm gonna slow roll this one just like I did the last pack. So we got the Matchmaker. We got Taka. Pepper. Yzma. Calhoun. Dr. Calico. Li Shang. Amethyst Coil. Thunderbolt. First rare, we've got Clarabelle. We've got a super rare Bell, another great one that I need for my deck. And Phantom Bolt. All right, well, it's all right. We got 3 more, and I'm gonna hop right into those right after this one. But I do appreciate you sticking around to this point. If you have, don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully with some better pulls, because we're gonna need them. 2 boxes back to back with 3 legendaries is tough. But that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.